Nearly a year after announcing its temporary setup in Louisville's West End in a parking lot, Greyhound is still operating in that same location with no clear move in sight.
WDRB's Crystal Goodner explains the issues surrounding the transit company since it announced the sale of its downtown location.
I'm watching the wheels fall off this company.
Greyhound seems to be on the struggle bus since it announced it sold its bus station at 7th and Muhammad Ali, which now sits abandoned and boarded up. It said it would temporarily move operations to a much smaller space in this strip mall at 12th and Broadway.
The wheels are coming off the bus. I don't know exactly what's going down here with this.
A year later, the temporary bus station is still here. The buses take up a large chunk of the shopping center parking lot. With just a small waiting room, you'll often find several dozen people also waiting in the parking lot or on the sidewalk for buses that some passengers say arrive extremely late or never show up at all.
Anytime I try to talk to anyone, it's very, very strange. You don't get clear answers, just like anyone else who's waiting on buses around.
Kristen Potts is a musician from Indianapolis who often travels to Louisville. He says his most recent trips have struck a bad chord. One trip was delayed 2.5 hours because there was no driver. On another trip, his bus broke down.
Yeah, I'm in a strip mall, and it's not that fun. So I usually hang out on the side, watch movies until the bus actually shows up. So that's what I've been doing, is just waiting for the bus to show up. It's really weird, man.
The temporary setup is also problematic for Greyhound's neighbors, like City Gear Clothing, which sits right next door. Employees say frustrated passengers become their problem.
They're not from here, so they don't know what to do, and then they can't sit in our store, so they getting upset at us if they can't sit in our store.
Greyhound tried to move to a permanent location on Preston Highway near the airport, but zoning issues put the brakes on that move. Now, with no permanent bus station plans in sight, Greyhound passengers are wondering what the future looks like down the road.
Great.
Now, we understand that issues like this is not only happening in Louisville, but it's happening across the country. Greyhound was sold to a European bus company, Flix Mobility, back in 2021. And since then, they've been selling bus depots just like this all across the city, all across the country, rather. And we've reached out to Flix Mobility to comment on this story, but they did not respond back. Reporting on Muhammad Ali Boulevard with photojournalists Frank Stampford and Dave White, Crystal Goodner, WDRB News.
All right, Crystal, we know you will stay on it for us. Thank you.
A judge ruled that